Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about number 7. I know we're covering a ton of content here. So, if you go back, listen to the audio, watch the video, I'd highly recommend you print off the follow-along guide for this section so you can do your lonely work. We're going to cover that at the end of this session. Number 7, action type questions. Have you ever left an appointment? Have you ever left a meeting? Have you ever hung up the phone and you weren't real clear what you should do next? Yeah. How many presentations have you given where they said, okay, we'll let you know, and as you're walking out to your car, you're asking yourself, okay, so am I calling them or are they calling me? So here's some action type questions. What happens next? What would you like me to do now? Here's a big one. Have you ever set a phone appointment with somebody? I'm going to call you Tuesday at 2. Here's an example of an action type question, right? Something happens as a result. Have you ever set a phone appointment with somebody saying, I'm going to call you Tuesday at 2. You do call, it's 2:59. You've picked up the phone. You're making their phone ring. Bam, you get voicemail. So you leave a message, and what ensues is an entire game of phone tag. Now, again, I have other courses that cover voicemail, phone tag, how to reconnect with people. But for right now, let me give you a question to ask somebody the next time you set a phone appointment. You ready? Okay. If I do call you at, let's say, 3 o'clock, and I get your voicemail, what would you like me to do? Let me give that to you one more time. If I call you at 3 o'clock and I get your voicemail, what would you like me to do? Now, you might be saying, Bob, that's a dumb question. They're going to say, leave a message. Right. And here's what we're going to say. Nope, I got it. Yep, of course I'll leave a message. But after that, what do you want me to do? And what we're doing is we're walking them through a scenario before it happens. The odds of them telling you, well, just keep calling me and hope you get me, pretty small. What they might say is, well, if you get my voicemail at 3 o'clock, try me again at 6 o'clock because that's when I'll be home. Or if you get my voicemail at 3 o'clock, send me an email. Or if you get my voicemail at 3 o'clock, here's my cell phone number. Call me on this number. See, asking questions is all about helping our prospects define the reality that they find themselves in right now. See, it's our job to help people define what's going on, to tell us specifically what's happening and then what to do next. Can you imagine leaving a meeting where they didn't say no, they didn't say yes, and it's left kind of vague, and instead of you walking away thinking and hoping, well, I guess they'll get back to me, if you were to ask, what would you like me to do now? Where do we go from here? Tell me what it is you'd like me to do next. And then let them start describing everything that happens after this meeting. Now, again, these aren't magical words. We're not going to say, what would you like me to do now? And they're going to say, well, I want you to do this, this, and this. They might give you a list of everything they want you to do. Or they might start telling you, well, I have to share this information with my boss. I've got to give this information to the committee. And oftentimes what happens when we ask an action type question, what happens next? What happens as a result of you and I doing this? We start to get more information that we may not have had up to this point. That's actually kind of interesting, isn't it? When we think about asking some of these questions, again, the value of what you bring to the table is in direct proportion to the problems that you're working on. If we're not working on very valuable problems, then the solutions that we're bringing aren't worth a whole heck of a lot. All right, so let's move on to number 8, prediction type questions. What happens if nothing changes? I love this one. If you could look 5 years into the future and this problem no longer existed, what would be different? Again, what we're doing is we're letting them tell us all the reasons why they should buy. It's very possible that if nothing changes, it won't make any difference at all. How valuable is the solution that you're going to bring? By the way, when do we want to know this? Yeah, we want to know as soon as possible. If nothing changes, Bob, the company shuts down. If nothing changes, I could go broke. How valuable is your solution now? Yeah, real valuable. So we want to start asking some prediction type questions.